Adam and the Ants. Today I tell a story. It is a story about a boy called Adam who lives in a big house in the north of Vietnam. He moved to Vietnam when he was just a small baby and has grown up here ever since. Adam loves playing in his garden when he returns home from school, after he has done his homework, of course. He has a sand pit and a swing and even a swimming pool, but he doesn't have any friends. The boys at school are not very nice to Adam. They make fun of his blue eyes and white skin. Adam has many girls wanting to play with him, but he is afraid that if he plays with the girls, the boys will only hate him even more, and so he stays alone. One day, Adam was playing alone in his garden. He saw a pile of dirt that wasn't there before. He knelt down on the grass and looked at it. He had never seen anything like it before. It was an ant's nest, and there must have been 1,000,000 ants inside. He got a leaf and placed it over the hole at the top of the nest, and then watched as the ants moved it out of the way. Then he put a bottle cap over the hole, but they still moved it out of the way. He looked around, but could see nothing else to cover the hole, so he went inside his home to look further. In the kitchen, he found a saucepan lid. It was transparent and ideal for what he had in mind. He rushed back into the garden and over to the nest. Carefully, he placed the lid over the hole. It was so large that it covered most of the nest. "There, let's see if you can move that," he said while smiling. Because the lid was see-through, he could see the ants underneath. They were running around, not knowing what to do. "Ha ha ha," laughed Adam as he watched closely. Then, to his surprise, he saw an ant looking at him. He stuck out his tongue and went, "Na na 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 na." But then, as he looked at the ant, also stuck out his tongue. Adam got closer to the lid and stared at the tiny ant. "I will get you for this," said the ant. Adam's eyes opened very wide. "You can talk," he replied. The little ant looked at him and said, "Yes, so can you," in a sarcastic voice. Adam didn't know what to do, and so he ran back to his home. The next day, Adam went back into the garden. The saucepan lid was gone. He looked and looked, but it was nowhere to be seen. Then he saw something shining from a few meters away and walked over to it. When he bent down, he saw that it was a little ant. The ant was holding something metal. That was it, he thought. As he looked closer, he realized it was actually a very tiny sword. "Oh my," he said. "What are you going to do with that?" he said in a calm voice. The little ant raised the sword into the air and cried out, "Charge!" Then he saw more ants, many more ants, millions of ants. They were all running towards him. Each ant had a sword, and before he could move, they were attacking him. Adam moved backwards and fell down onto the grass. "Get him!" shouted the ant. Adam could do nothing. One ant is nothing to worry about, but millions of ants were more than enough to keep him on his back. The king of the ants walked up onto Adam's nose and looked into his eyes. He looked angry and said, "I am the king of this ant hill. You declared war on us, and we will kill you." Adam was terrified. "I'm sorry. I will never do anything to you again. I promise, I swear," said Adam with tears in his eyes. The king ant looked at him and said, "Well, okay then, I forgive you." Adam was so happy. "Really? Thank you. You are a kind and forgiving leader," he said proudly. The king ant spoke again. "No, not really. We are going to eat you. You should feed us for the whole winter." Adam started to cry. "Ha ha ha," laughed the king ant. "I am only joking." After that day, Adam and the ants lived happily together. Adam would leave out food for the ants, and in return they would draw pictures of things they saw underground. The end. Thank you for listening. See you next time.